What's up guys, my name is Minchun Kim AKM's KFB, and today's video is gonna be not racing build. Today's build video is gonna be Cinewhoop build. So Cinewhoop is which I use really a lot when I do filming or when I'm boring, when I just do freestyle. I use Cinewhoop a lot, and when I'm posting videos, a lot of people ask me like how your Cinewhoop flies like 5-inch quads. And here's the secret: how you make your quad flies like 5-inch. So a lot of Cinewhoop frames are like ducted frames, so airs are super dirty. So when you dive the building or something like that, the quad's starting to wobbling and it's impossible to control. But this frame is only have guard in it and then not ducted, so airs are super clean, flies like 5-inch. It got a lot of powers as well. So I will show you guys the parts that I'm going to use today and what's in the plastic box right here. So let's get into it. Okay, here's all my parts that I'm going to use today. So the frame calls PersonaX 3.5-inch. They made from Korea. So I've been testing really a lot with this frame. It flies absolutely amazing, and they just released a new frame. And so thank you so much to PersonaX for sending me one. And this is Axis Flying 223. Well, I think this is a prototype motor, but I think they're gonna release soon for Cinewhoop ones. And Foxer 65 amp 30x30, and Foxer F722 flight controller as well, and Cadex Vista with the Polar Pro camera, and Ghost Auto Duo RX for my Cinewhoop builds. And we got a lot of 3D parts as well. This is for GoPro 10 and GPS, GoPro 4 as well, and this is for like RX antennas and skids. And this is for like Vista antennas, and this is for Vista. So now I will show you guys what's inside of this plastic bag. Okay, so when you're opening this plastic bag, you will get just 2 frames and camera mounts, 1.5mm screws, and standoffs, and a lot of other screws. Also this XT60 cable with this counter strong screws, so you can easily mount the XT60 back of the frame, right? This. So you can easily plug in and unplug the battery, super easy. So I really like it. So now I will show you guys how to build the frame. Alright, so first what I'm going to do is putting the stack screws. So as I'm using 30x30, I'm gonna use this hole. And we're gonna need this plastic nuts to mounting. Like this. If you did it, now I'm going to do the same thing for just 3 things left here. Okay, so I put all of these stack screws, and now I'm going to put this ESC. So this here, right here is the back. So make sure you build XT60 line is going back of here, like this. Okay, now I'm going to mount this XT60. So here's is gonna be top as well. So now I'm going to mount XT60 at the back of here with this countersunk screws. Okay, it's good to go. It's gonna be like this. Okay, and now I'm gonna mount this motor. Okay, now we're gonna use zip tie for mounting this motor wires. Just like this. And going to soldering these wires. Okay, looks good. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing for just other motors. So now I soldered all of the 4 motors, and now I'm going to soldering these XT60 cables like this. So soldering like this. Okay, looks good. And here, same thing. Okay, looks good. And now I'm going to mounting this flight controller. And I'm gonna use these plastic nuts for mounting this flight controller. Looks good. Now I'm going to mount this CATX Vista at the back here. So now all you need is these 3D parts for CATX Vista, and now I'm going to push in to the frame. Done. No screws for holding Vista, and now I'm just gonna push in my CATX Vista between these 3D prints. Like this. Super easy. So when you're changing foam mirrors or something like that, there's USB. You can plug it right here. So I think it's very easy to do anything with this frame. And here, top of the parts, I'm gonna mount later like this. So make sure your CATX Vista wires go over the Vista like this, and you'll be good to go. So now I'm going to soldering the wires. So what I like to do is soldering this CATX Vista power and ground just to the XT60 cable pad. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Yep, just like this. I soldered my VP power just to the XT60 pad and working perfect to me. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing for this ground pad. And now I'm going to soldering this TX and RX cable to the flight controller. Also make sure, don't forget, this TX wire have to go to RX on flight controller, and RX cable needs to go on TX on flight controller. So this yellow cable is RX and white cable is TX. So TX cable is go to the RX and yellow cable is go to the TX. So make sure, don't forget that. And now it's time to soldering my RX on flight controller. And I will just mount my RX on the flight controller with double side tape. Just like here. And I will mount my RX antennas. It's a duo, so we got 2 antennas. So I will mount like this on the arms. And now let's soldering this cable to the flight controller. Okay, I soldered my RX, so it's pretty much everything is ready to go. So now what I'm gonna do is putting this CATX Vista antennas right here. So I'm going to use this polar like CATX antennas, and let's unscrew this 1.5mm screws right here. And now I'm going to put this CATX antennas like this to here. Okay. And I'm going to plug in the EFL right here. And now I'll just push back in my Vista again. Okay, looks good to go. So now what I'm going to do is mounting the standoffs, which is almost last parts. Vista antenna is gonna be mounting right here like this. And now I will put all of the other standoffs. Also, for this frame, you got this aluminum guards here. You can see here. It looks beautiful. But I personally like to mounting on the front here because I hit this front bar way more than this back of here, and they look cooler. So yeah, I would just mounting it here just so you can easily just push in, and just if you break them or something like that, you can just easily can swap this thing super easy. So I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so I mounted all of these standoffs, and it's time to mounting this camera with this camera plates. And as you can see, it's kind of different, but this part is going to the top of the plates right here. Just pushing super hard. Okay, it's gonna be look like this. You can see here. And now I'm just going to mount this camera. Okay, I mounted my camera as well. So now I just need this bottom plate and this 3D parts for Cadex Vista. It goes over here, just covering up like this. And now it just mounts like this. Okay, so everything is ready to go. And now I'm just gonna mount my Ghost RX antennas here with the zip tie. Also, when you're mounting this GoPro mounts on the frame, you can mount it here and putting this GoPro mount like this. Also, it comes with the screws for the GoPro as well, so I think it's super cool. Okay, before we go flying, time to check. Let's see. Good to go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this build video, and I think this is the best frame for Cinewhoop. It's 3.5 inch, it looks super skinny, but it's T700 frames, so they are really strong. So I will leave the link for this frame, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you.